Tonight on Golf Central, the top 16 stories of 2016 in the world of golf, including Dustin Johnson's victory at Oakmont with the controversial Sunday from the USGA.
And the best just keep getting better. World #1 Lydia Ko added to her major title collection and in the process became the youngest two-time major winner since 1869.
And don't forget the Ryder Cup, where after 3 straight losses, the United States dominated Europe for its first win in 8 years.
Plus, golf made a triumphant return to the Olympics this past summer, but is it the top story of the year? Golf Central's 2016 Year in Review starts right now.
Golf Central, brought to you by Titleist.
Hello, welcome to Golf Central. Lisa Cornwell, Tim Rosafort, George Savaricas, and Trip Eisenhower up next. We begin our top 16 storylines in 2016 with Davis Love III, who led the Americans to victory in the 41st edition of the Ryder Cup. Quite a triumphant moment for the U.S.
Well, you think about Davis's big year that he had, and he didn't get into the Hall of Fame by winning the Ryder Cup, but it was certainly appropriate and deserving for a guy who'd won 20 times out on tour, who had won a major championship and also a couple of Players' Championships. But talking to Davis today about the success at the Ryder Cup and up at Hazeltine and why this was different than Medina, he said quite simply the PGA letting the players and captains have a voice in planning. So another justification for the task force, and then all the assistants working on a plan based on past experience. And then finally, he pointed out, Lisa, the Sunday plan in 16 was way better than the plan in 2012. You learn from experience, you learn from tough losses, and that's what Davis Love did in putting his captaincy together, this win by the United States side. And finally, they had that Tiger Woods factor working for him. Make Tiger Woods great again. The effort that he put in and that he got back made the United States Ryder Cup team great for the first time since 2008.
And more good news for Davis Love III. It was also announced this year that he was going to be inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame.
And as I said, Lisa, what a deserving guy. I mean, he's won. You think he's won the Bob Jones Award, he's won the Payne Stewart Award, he's won all these good guy awards before all the service that he put in throughout the course of time. It was nice to see him recognized for the golf that he played over the course of time too. Had that U.S. Open in Oakland Hills locked up, but came back ultimately to get his major championship.
All right, let's get the countdown continuing with George and Trip.
All right, thank you, Lisa. With Trip, who always makes Golf Central as great as possible. Trip, number 15, the effect that the much talked about anchoring ban had in 2016.
Yeah, you know, it had an adverse effect on a number of players, but it also had a great effect on some players, and maybe it made them work a little hard on their putting. And of course, I'm speaking about Adam Scott, right out of the gate, winning back-to-back in Florida at 2 of the most difficult courses that they play, at Doral and of course PGA National. And what a difficult set of greens to putt. He putted beautifully. The ball striking's always there with Adam. I thought he would struggle. The other guy too that you thought might struggle is a guy who's been dominating the PGA Tour champions, and of course I'm speaking about Bernhard Langer. He is really putting just as good as he did with the unanchored method. He's just moving it slightly off. The one thing where he does miss is when that top hand goes backwards. Sometimes he'll tend to pull the putt. But other than that, it has been just a great step forward for these guys with the anchor band. But then you look at the flip side of the coin, guys like Keegan Bradley, although he's starting to play better at the end of the year, and certainly Carl Peterson and some other players have struggled, and they're going to have to continue to find a better way to putt unanchored.
All right, let's keep it going. Back over to Lisa.
All right, number 14, the resurgence of Rory McIlroy, doing what many really didn't see coming, that win in the Tour Championship at East Lake, which also earned him the FedEx Cup and that $1 million bonus. Look, he was really struggling with the putter, and all of a sudden he was a new man after getting a new putter and a couple lessons.
The sight of him on the putting green at Baltusrol after he missed the cut and hopelessly looking for a way to get the ball in the hole, and then ultimately going to see Phil Kenyon, who helped Henrik Stenson win the Open Championship, and a lot of other guys putt better, and then all of a sudden that win at the Irish Open was backed up by WGC, and then ultimately with the FedEx Cup. And it came down to putting in that duel with Ryan Moore at East Lake. It took 4 holes after he jarred a 137-yard wedge to get into that playoff, makes the 15-footer for the win, and sends this year off into next year thinking about the Masters and the potential for him completing the Grand Slam.
It's amazing, too, the company that he now keeps. We just showed the graphic and all the wins in the majors, and Rory McIlroy definitely going to be someone to watch for in 2017. George, I only shortchanged him by $9 million. Okay, a $10 million bonus.
Just, you know, carry the zeros. So from a former world #1 to current Jason Day, what a run he had in March and at the Players, WGC, Bay Hill, and the Players.
Yeah, you know, he followed up the year where he got his first major championship, and he really looked like a dominating performance going into the meat of the major seasons. And, of course, he didn't play all that great overall by his standards in majors, but he did play great at the PGA. He finished second in defending his title. Jason Day is the guy. It all depends on if he stays healthy. When he's injured, obviously, he's had a lot of time on the sidelines in his career. He's one of the best in the game. He's the best putter by far from long range, outside of 15, 20 feet. He just dominates the field. Even though he doesn't hit the ball that close by statistical standards, he does make up for it in more ways than one by the amount of putts he makes from 15 and 20 feet and beyond. It really just a dominating performance on the greens. Everything else about his game, I think, provided he stays healthy, should continue to gain momentum in 2017.
For number 12, we look at a storyline that's captivated not only the whole country, but the world of golf. That's President-elect Donald Trump, and specifically the impact he's going to have in the golf world.
Well, I mean, you think of it, you know, controversial, yes, but you've got a guy, a president, the first president of the United States that actually owns golf clubs. And 2 of those golf clubs are going to host major championships next year. One of them is going to host the U.S. Women's Open and the Senior PGA at Trump golf courses. Now, of course, the thing about any president, George, when they play golf and they like golf, whether you like them or not, it's good for the game. And I know they get criticized for it. President Obama got criticized. George W. Bush got criticized when they would play. I don't think that should happen. I think it's great for the game. It's great for these guys who are so busy to decompress on the golf course, get away from it. And he's got his own golf courses to go to. So that's certainly a different aspect to presidential golf. And we'll see, like I said, anytime a president likes the game of golf, it's good for the game.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the case. Lisa.
Still ahead, our countdown continues. Where will DJ's near nightmare in the U.S. Open land and the backlash the USGA suffered? We'll put that one in there coming up. Also, who could forget the epic battle between Stenson and Mickelson in the Open? One of the greatest showdowns in the history of the game. Plus, even better than the top 16, Ryan Koringal has an all-time story of determination you won't want to miss. That's later on Golf Central.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X, the #1 gift in golf. Arcos, advanced GPS and distance tracking for every shot.